And my simple way of explaining it is that it's just a different way of us working together towards a shared vision and bringing in more of our whole selves to how we work together and generating new possibilities because of the new way that we're working together. You know how we've decided in curriculum that we need to teach kids social emotional learning? This is really about bringing that to the adults in the system as well.
For me, I would be asking questions. When you are functioning in a space, how do you find your connection with people? Do you find that you connect with them in a compassionate way because you guys have things in common? Or do you connect with them as a human being in a compassionate way? And if you don't, then you really might want to think about your awareness in that space and how you interact and move through that space. And there are the tools that you can use to really bring awareness to that.
It seems to be the integration of three key things, right? It's the integration of systems thinking alongside social emotional learning, alongside complexity sciences. And then the second thing that I noticed, it comes back to triple focus. What I think compassionate systems framework does really well is play against all those different landscapes of kind of the individual and then the relational on a smaller scale and then the global. And what I love about it is each of the tools and the practice almost integrates all three of those layers as part of its practice, right?
And working with compassionate systems in schools, it has to do with working with the somatic or the mental bodily system of the individual. How can we create social relations and generative social fields? Because we impact each other all the time in the school, but also how can we on a larger level see systems and the complexity of local systems in the classroom, but also globally, and have an understanding and an ability to stay with that complexity and be in that sometimes suffering or in that space that where preoccupation and anxiety can exist without being overwhelmed by that. So I think that is really important that we work with students. For example, the climate of the world. A lot of youngsters are preoccupied or anxious about the future, and not being overwhelmed by that anxiety is really important.
I like to talk about, people's experience with big problems in the world. So I would say something like, how do you feel about, the huge problem that we have with immigration? When you think about all that, do you often say to yourself, well, it's just too big, I can't do anything, I'm one person? That problem is too huge for me and I really can't fix it. So compassionate systems for students is teaching children that you can fix it. And you can hold the creative tension and you can be healthy enough emotionally to work on big problems like that without letting them overwhelm you. And that's what compassionate systems does for our kids. It teaches them and allows them to look at really huge problems that singularly they can't do anything about, but collectively we can. And it helps us understand our profound connectedness.